It's a 180 acre development. Initially, when we were starting to do it, was trying to figure out how to right size something. And you got some very bright people, but you're sitting there trying to quantify stuff, and that's where Richard Ward and some others came in handy, and Dennis Lauer certainly has added a lot too. And that's where you have 180 acres. What all can you squeeze into 180 acres? And initially, I think, I always kind of disagreed with John. I used to disagree with John, but not too much, because he raised the $29.5 million that got us up and running. But initially, there was a thought that it should just all be research. But when you start taking a look at how many people you could stick on 180 acres, if they're all doing research in 4 or 5 or 6 story buildings, you realize that that'd probably be every researcher in North America. So we had to start thinking about it more in terms of this live, work, play space. So that's where a portion of the land now is IKEA, and we have a couple streets that we're looking to try to make almost like a kind of like a downtown, or like a commercial spine of the region. So Duncan will be one of them. Sarah might be another one. And so we would have retailing there, so you could get most of your needs met within a short walk. And then we'll have a couple sites that we've dedicated apartments or condos. I think we'll eventually have a hotel or two within the region. But it's, and of course, research is the centerpiece of it. But for every job that you have in research, there's probably 2 or 3 or 4 jobs in some sort of related thing, whether it's the guy working in the restaurant or the construction worker or whatever. So from a standpoint of doing regional economic development, if we can go ahead and get people from somewhere else in the country sending money to St. Louis to pay for our researchers, that's a really great thing. Then those researchers get those dollars, and then they need to go out and they need to do retailing, and they need to buy homes, and so so there's some types of economic activities are almost zero-sum games. Retailing is, you have a certain number of people, there's going to be a certain number of grocery stores, a certain number of furniture stores, a certain number of dry cleaners, and so forth. So real economic development comes when you can get money in from outside the area, and that's the real thing that Cortex is good at. If we can get research money coming in from outside the area, they develop a product here that we can then sell to people all throughout the world. Then all of a sudden we become, we're kind of exporting our services to other places, and then with that money as it comes back to us, we're employing more people locally, through our retailing, construction, and so forth. Very few people know where Duncan is who live in the West End or Forest Park Southeast, but Duncan's going to be one of those streets that in 10 years, everybody over there is going to know, because that's going to be, a version of a Euclid. And Sarah's going to end up coming back the similar way. So it'll be the place that you want to go if it's going to be, kind of ground zero for Cortex.